Self-tapper. Oh crap. Well, after a little bit of persuasion, this is what it looks like. As you can see, it's definitely blown out. There's your problem. No gasket on there. So we're going to clean this up, put the new gasket on, and slam it back together. Good enough for me. This gasket is done. Finished.
Yeah, when you were kicking it over, you could see the full length of the gasket. You could see shit spraying out. You don't have to figure out the cat door.
He was trying to.
I know. Like, oh, no.
Fixed. I pulled the side cover off because I didn't think that power valve was working right. Because usually they're springy, right? And they're spring loaded. I don't know much about two-strokes. It's pretty easy. If you take the side cover off, you can see. Here's the part that, alright, this is the part that actuates the valve right here. It has these two Allen bolts, and this thing, you can tell it's sheared. So that's no longer engaging with this. And you can, just from looking at this, you can see how it works. Right here we have the crankshaft. And this is the main crank gear that drives the clutch. These are all your clutch plates, of course. This right here is a spring-loaded governor, and this spring is rated for 6,000 RPM. So whenever this crank spins this at 6,000, this top piece moves this back and forth, and that's what activates your power valve. It's really quite amazing how simple it is. But anyways, I'm gonna have to go back to the dealership tomorrow and get any one of these. It's a $8 part. So, well, to get to this, I had to take all of these bolts out along the cover. Also had to take the nut off the end of the Kickstarter. This thing right here. It was kind of a pain. I had to heat it up to get it off, but it eventually came off with a little persuasion cheater bar. I'm going to replace this gasket as well. I'm not going to RTV it. I'm going to get the right gasket. Here's the old gasket. It needed to be replaced. But the inside of this motor is pristine. Like, I've never seen a cleaner looking motor. I've said that before with those Hondas, but damn, that's really surprising. Well, here's the bike as it sits while I'm fixing the motor. All this will clean up with a wire wheel and the die grinder. Should be no problem. This coil I'm going to clean up, but other than that, it just needs to get clean. Oh yeah, my plastics. Got to finish those. Spent about 3 hours on those today. Scrape, scrape, scrape. Try zooming in on what I'm doing, if you can. This is what I'm using. It's a 4-inch wire wheel for the angle grinder. Works pretty good. I'm going to use the die grinder with the wire brush on it to get all the hard to reach places.